Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Comm Box. And it's a fascinating game today because the game is absolutely dead center. Both teams are in a situation where they can win, but right now it looks like Bangalore has got strangled out there. They're 77, they need another 107, and they really seem to be struggling. With me is Lisa. Lisa, what do you make of it?
Yeah, the both Padikkal and Virat Kohli just struggling to find the boundary. Really, last boundaries, apart from that one just before we came on air, was the sixth over. So the bigger boundaries are working. The pitch is slowing up. We're starting to see a lot of turn. And the fact that Gopal has got one over left, Tuatia has two. I wonder if Smith's there going, "Phew, be nice to have another spinner up there."
No, absolutely, and that's what they're looking at. The spinners are really hard to get away, but so is actually Jaydev Unadkat because his kind of sort of fast bowling, which is not really fast, he's just bowling slower ones and hitting the pitch. It's difficult, and clearly Padikkal is looking frustrated. If somebody has to go for it, it has to be Padikkal because they need Virat Kohli to be around if this run chase has to be successful. Padikkal has to be taking the risk. So, what do you think? What do you think Virat is telling him at this point in time?
Yeah, it's probably about wanting to get a boundary early on in the over. If they can do that, I think the asking rate is certainly over 10. So if you get a boundary off the first one or two deliveries, it puts so much pressure back on the bowlers, and then they can milk it. And they can get to that 8, 9, 10 runs very easily without taking too many risks. But it's just that boundary early on. They don't want to do it at the back end of the over because pressure will build, and that's where they'll lose wickets. But they've still got AB de Villiers in the change room. So that will probably give Kohli still a little bit of a hope that they're going okay. They from a runs and wickets perspective, they're slightly behind wickets. They've got plenty still left. So yeah, it is tight. It's absolutely tight. Where do you think the match is at the moment, Joy?
Yeah, I'm just wondering because you know this pitch better than me. Is it slowing down perceptibly? Because it does seem to be really slow now. They're really struggling to time it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and the spinners are smart, aren't they? They've learned off Chahal. We're not seeing 95 kilometres an hour spin bowlers. It's in the 80s, in the 70s, and if you start to do that, then that will certainly help. But Tiagi's only bowled the one over, so whether he comes on, obviously they're saving Archer for the death, and you can understand why. So Smith has got to kind of figure out when he's going to bowl his bowlers because he's got to get it right because the Royals actually need to win.
Absolutely. And if you look at this analysis, here, 3 overs from Shreyas Gopal, that means that if they don't bowl that sixth bowler, that's Riyan Parag, who's also an option as an off spinner, they need to get 3 overs out of Tyagi and 2 overs out of Unadkat. Unadkat might just like the pitches he's bowling on, but Tyagi, if he doesn't get his Yorker going, or they'll think that maybe we'll walk down at him, try and disturb his length, stop him from those Yorkers. That seems to be their best chance at this point in time, isn't it?
Yeah, and also if Padikkal is still out there, obviously similar age, understanding of each other, there's not that fear factor, is there? It's like, I'm used to this guy, so not a problem. But the match is on an absolute balance at the moment. If AB comes in and they're able to get a partnership, then it might just swing into RCB's favour.
Yeah, there's an interesting story out there because, Padikkal was in the probables for the under-19 team that Tyagi played for just now, and he didn't make the team. So maybe Padikkal might be telling Tyagi that, okay, today let me just tell you why I didn't make the team or why I should have made the team. So lots of little side stories out there, fascinating tales, and a very, very delicately poised run chase. Lots to look out for. Watch us right at the end in Cricbuzz Live. This is Joy and Lisa signing off.